Hello and welcome to Beyond Serenity. If you're a divine feminine who's been initiated onto this next level awakening journey by the catalyst of your divine masculine, you'll likely be discovering that the intensity of oscillating feeling states is beyond anything you've ever experienced in this lifetime. The triggers can often hit us seemingly out of the blue, coming at us hard and fast in a tornado of intensely suffocating, heavy emotions. The ups and downs of this roller coaster can be overwhelming, all-consuming, and leave us in a complete state of bewilderment, wondering if we're going crazy, yet somehow knowing at our core that we are not, and there is something far bigger at play here. Bombardments of this confusing, chaotic energy is such a key feature of the divine counterpart's ascension path, and as grueling as it feels, it's one of our biggest opportunities for transformation. The specifics of the 3D presentation of the triggers will morph and change as we progress along this path. At points on the journey, the triggering circumstances may be directly related to actions of your divine masculine in the physical world. And at other stages, the triggers could be brought about through upsetting interactions with different soul connections and relationships, or other aspects of your life seemingly falling apart around you. Regardless of the specific presentation, the ultimate purpose of these triggers is the same. You're being cleansed and purged of density as you're being up-leveled and shifted into higher states of consciousness. The emotions are arising for a reason, and they are screaming at you for your attention. Within every triggering situation and every upsetting feeling state, there's some sort of learning to be had. But in most cases, the lessons cannot be properly learned and integrated until you have begun to balance the intense energies moving through you. Learning to alchemize the energetic roller coaster of triggers and stabilizing yourself in a calm, peaceful state, regardless of external circumstances and regardless of the influx of heavy emotions, is one of the biggest keys and one of the toughest things to do on this journey. Balancing and alchemizing the rising emotions does not equate with repressing our perceived negative thoughts and feeling states. Many of us who have been in the spiritual community for a while may have developed a fear of experiencing or expressing what we deem as negative emotions, and at some point in our journey, we have found ourselves in the trap of spiritual bypassing. Yet as you progress and spiritually mature, your experiences lead you to a deep realization that you cannot fool the universe by pretending to feel positive and masking your discomfort. The upset is rising to the surface for a reason, and it will continue to scream at you louder and harder until you get the intended messages. In the moment of peak intensity of this triggering, it is not the time to try and use your logical mind to figure out why the situation is occurring. Rather than analyzing, ignoring, or attempting to clear the feelings rising from the painful experiences, we're being invited to allow the emotions to move through us, to feel them fully and completely, and to use them as a catalyst for our transformation. The most loving thing we can do is hold a non-judgmental space for the discomfort to rise and work its way through our body. Our first step is to acknowledge and accept the presenting emotions, and to fully allow the feelings to express, as long as this expression is not moving through us in a way that is harmful to ourselves or others. As the upsetting feeling states pass through the peak intensity, there will come a time where you have the ability to step back as a conscious observer of the emotions moving through your mind and body. Recognizing that you are not your thoughts and emotions, Rather, seeing them as simply experiences which are here to shift you will allow the intensity of the feelings to peak and dissipate, and you'll find the high levels of pain will begin to subside. It is only after this initial intensity is lowered that we are then able to move into a space of self-reflection as to why and from where this trigger has presented itself in the first place. It is from this reflection that you can begin to see what changes you're being called to make. Every single situation and occurrence is showing up in your reality as a reflection of your underlying core vibrational state. And it's an indication of where you're being invited to make shifts in your life to move yourself into a higher vibrational way of living. This journey requires a high degree of self-responsibility and spiritual maturation. These painful experiences are not here so that you can stay stagnant and looping in pain. Rather, this discomfort has come in to push you into your transformation. As divine feminines, we have a tendency to fall into states of seeking external validation and looking for others, particularly our divine masculine, to save us from this pain. However, no one can do this work for you. We do have guides and supports which come to us in perfect timing to assist us through this process. But ultimately, the shifts must come from within yourself. Learning to harness your own power and strength is one of the biggest keys on this ascension path. As grueling as it feels, you're on this journey because your soul is ready, and you do have the strength and tenacity within you to make it through these intense highs and lows. You are meant for a life so much more than what you've been living up until this point. Every single painful emotion and experience, no matter how excruciating it may seem, is bringing you closer to this beautiful life that is waiting for you. Until next time, with unconditional love.